Hey guys, thanks for joining. We're going to get started in a few minutes. Okay, so today we're going to be highlighting the CPT book. Okay, I'll also be stopping throughout so I can take questions. Okay, so if you have any questions about, medical coding in general or the CPC exam. Okay, so I'll take a couple of questions now before we get started. If you have anything you'd like to ask, you can, and then I'll stop again probably in about 10 minutes or so if you have any other questions. Minutes or so if you have any other questions. Okay, does anyone have any questions about the CPC exam or medical coding in general? Thanks for joining, guys. All right, so I guess we'll get started. Okay, I have the 2025 book. Okay, if you have the 2024 book, you still could use it if you're taking the CPC exam in 2025. I know I get that question a lot. Okay, AAPC allows you to go back 1 year with the coding books. Okay, so you took a class in 2024, you don't have to buy new books just for the exam. Okay, I see one question. In addition to your course, are there books that I would need to purchase? No, everything comes with the course. Okay, there's nothing extra you have to buy on your own. Okay, so I'm gonna start on page 135. Okay, so I'm going to start on page 135. All right, now this is just the way that I highlight the book. Okay, there is no right or wrong way. Okay, so if you find a way that works better for you, then do that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to highlight the first couple of words of each main code. Okay, remember a main code is a code that is not indented. Okay, so I'm looking at 20150, that's not indented, so I just highlight the first couple of words. 20200, again, not indented. Just highlight the first couple of words. Okay, and the reason why I do this is it just helps you find the codes quicker when you're taking the exam. Okay, you don't have to memorize anything. All right, so after I do that, then I'm just going to go back and I'm going to link the codes together that are indented from the code above it. So 20100, remember I just highlighted the first couple of words, and then you have 3 codes underneath that are indented. So I'm just going to link them together like that. Okay, and I just go throughout the book here and just group the codes together that are indented with the code above it. Okay, and this makes it easier to read the full code description. All right, so that is what that page looks like. Once I'm done linking the codes together, I go back and circle what's in parentheses. Okay, again, just making this quicker, if you're looking in the book, just so you'll see it quickly. Okay, a lot of times the things in parentheses here, it gives you more directions. Okay, or sometimes it talks about modifiers, or, you know, sometimes it will say, you know, what can be coded together and what can't be coded together. So it's just stuff that you don't want to miss. Okay, so that is why I go back and circle what's in parentheses. All right, so again, this was page 135. Okay, and that's what that page looks like. Okay, you could have your book highlighted like this when you take the CPC exam. You also could have tabs on your books like this. Okay, these I make and sell, and they're in my TikTok shop. Okay, now I am on page 136. Again, I just do the same thing here, just highlight the first couple of words of each main code. And it doesn't matter if the word is the same. Like, I don't really do this to like read what the words say, really. It's just to find the codes quicker. All right, and then I go back and just circle, well, I'm going to link the codes together that are indented. So 20560 is the code that I highlighted, and then I'm going to go back and link it with the code below it that's indented, which is 20561. Okay, 20552 was the main code, and 20553 is indented, so I just linked them together. All right, and then I go back and circle what's in parentheses. Okay, I see a question. Can we use the 2024 if we're scheduled to take it in 2025? And yes, you can. Okay, AAPC allows you to go back 1 year with the coding books, and it has more information about that on the AAPC website. Okay, so just circling what's in parentheses. Okay, so these codes here are in red, 20560 and 20561. Okay, that means that those codes are out of order. Okay, so you'll see that throughout the book, that sometimes the codes are not in order. Can you please repeat the answer to my question? Yes, so I believe you asked about the 2024 books. You could use those for 2025. Okay, I'm not sure if that's what question you're talking about. Okay, that's the question I just answered. Sorry, I can't see if that wasn't your question or not. All right, so this is what that page looks like. Again, this was page 136. Okay, now I'm on page 137. Oh, okay, your question was about the course. Okay, no, there's no other additional books that you'd have to buy for my coding course. Everything is included with the course. All right, so page 137 now. Again, highlight the first couple of words of each main code here. Now, I recommend to my students that they highlight their book like this while they are still going through the course. You know, like while they are learning, say, you know, this chapter of CPT, you know, I tell them that they should take the time to highlight the book like this instead of waiting to the end. Because I think if you wait till you're finished your coding course, you know, it would kind of be a lot to do at once. But, you know, if you want to wait to the end, that's okay too. You know, I do think this helps you kind of stay organized with the book and helps you find codes quicker and learn the codes. Okay, but you know, you don't have to highlight your book like this. Okay, it's not like it's required or anything, but I do think that it helps. Okay, so just linking the codes that are indented with the code above it, and then going back and circling what's in parentheses. Okay, so here it's just giving more directions. It's saying, you know, what other codes you could use. And this one it's saying, you know, what codes you should not use. All right, so that's why I circled those. Here it's talking about modifiers, modifier 59. Okay, I just want to show you guys where the modifiers are in the book. Okay, you can find the modifiers in 2 separate places in the book. You can find them on the back of the front cover. Okay, hopefully you guys can see that. This is the back cover of the book. Okay, here you'll find a short description of the modifiers. Okay, and you also can find the full description of the modifiers in the back of the book in Appendix A, which is right here. Okay, so I see the question again about 2024 books in 2025. Okay, you go back 1 year. So if you're taking the exam in 2025, you could use 2024 books. Okay, another question, where can you purchase this book? You can get this book from the AAPC website, or you can find it on Amazon or anywhere, you know, that would sell coding books. Okay, I got my books from AAPC. Okay, so now I am on page 138. Not too many codes on this page. Still just highlighting the first couple of words of each main code. Going back and linking the indented code 20680 with the code above it, 20670. And then circle what's in parentheses. Okay, I see you guys are talking about getting a job when you're finished the course and you're certified. Okay, I've done some videos on that. It is tough to get a job right away. Some people do, but it's, you know, I'm not gonna lie, it is difficult because a lot of employers want experience. So what I recommend to people is, you know, look for a job that's in the revenue cycle that's similar to coding. You know, someone who does billing, or someone who works denials, someone who does scheduling, okay, things like that. Okay, you can start out in a position in the revenue cycle like that and then work your way to coding. Okay, I'm on page 139 now. Okay, again, just highlighting the first couple of words of each main code. Okay, and then this page has some directions on it here, or, you know, some more, you know, paragraphs with more information. You could highlight here as well if you want. Okay, remember, it's nothing that you have to memorize, but you should read it over. I just usually highlight the first parts of each paragraph here. Okay, question says, are you highlighting for the exam? Okay, yes, you can do this for the exam. Okay, the reason why I'm highlighting the book now is because I'm an instructor, and this is just, you know, I'm teaching you guys how to highlight the book. But yes, you definitely can for the exam. Okay, so the book does not come with these tabs. Okay, these are in my TikTok shop. Okay, it does come with tabs, but I personally don't like them. Okay, the tabs that the books come with look like this. Okay, so I mean, if you want to use these, you can. I always thought these were confusing. I didn't care for these. So that's what originally led me to make these tabs a long time ago. I started making these years ago, before I even was teaching. I made these for myself. Okay. All right. So now I am on page 140. Okay, again, this page has a lot of other information here. You can highlight some of this as well if you want. Okay, here it's talking about add-on codes. Remember, an add-on code has a plus sign in front of it. Okay, so 20701 has a plus sign. Okay, that's an add-on code. 20700 is an add-on code. Actually, all these codes here are all add-on codes. All right, that means, again, they need to be coded with another code. Okay, so again, I'm just highlighting these just to see them a little bit better. Okay, so on this page, now I'm just going to go back and circle what's in parentheses. Okay, it's telling you what codes here, all these codes can be coded with 20700. Okay, so that is what that page looks like. If any of you guys are looking to take a coding course, my next course starts in March. And I have other videos out there where you could learn more about that. Okay. Again, just highlight the first couple of words of each main code. Okay, remember for the CPC exam, you have 4 hours to answer 100 multiple choice questions. Okay, and then just going back and linking the codes together that go together. So the codes that are indented with the code above it. Okay, I see you guys are talking about how much do coders make per year. Okay, again, that could vary by where you live, you know, what specialty you code, and, you know, where you work. Okay, so the best thing to do really would be to do a job search. You know, you could just go to Google or Indeed or LinkedIn and just look at different jobs to see what the pay is, because it really can vary. Okay, again, just circling what's in parentheses. Okay, I see question. Do you offer the full course? Yes. My course will prepare you to take the CPC exam from AAPC. Okay, I teach the curriculum from AAPC. And my class is 16 weeks long. Okay, so I'm just going to highlight a little bit here in the paragraphs. And circling what's in parentheses. Okay, so for the price of my course, last time I said it on a live, TikTok didn't like that. So you'll have to go to my profile and go to my website, and then you will see how much the course is. Or you can check out my other videos. I've said it in my other videos. I just can't say it on a live. Okay, I am on page 142. Okay, again, just highlighting the first couple of words of each main code. Okay, again, there's some more add-on codes. Okay, an add-on code has a plus sign in front of it. Okay, that means it has to be coded with another code. It can't be coded by itself. Okay, then I'm going to go back and group the codes together that are indented with the code above it. And this one actually should be like that. And then circling what's in parentheses. So basically you're an instructor for the course. Yes, I do teach a medical coding training course. And to get more information about that, you'll have to check out my other videos or my website. All right, so that's what this page looks like. All right, so that's what this page looks like. Okay, now I am on page 143. Okay, now I am on page 143. You guys will see this. I'm getting weird error. Okay. All right, so again, just highlighting the first couple of words of each main code. The main code is a code that's not indented. Okay, then I'm going back and linking the indented codes with the code above it, just so it's easier to read the full code description. Oops, I messed up again. This one should be like that. Okay, and then I just circle what's in parentheses. Okay, like I said before, if you find another way to highlight your book that is easier for you or that you like better, then definitely do that. Okay, again, this is page 143. Okay, if anyone has any questions about the CPC exam or medical coding, just put something in the comments. Okay, so I'm just highlighting the first couple of words of each code that is not indented. So the main code. Okay, then going back and linking the codes that are indented with the code above it, so it's easier to read the full code description, for the indented code. Okay, and then I'm going to go back and circle what's in parentheses. Okay, question, what is the difference between the CPT book and the ICD-10? Okay, so the CPT book, the book I'm using now, has procedure codes in it. Okay, and the ICD-10 has diagnosis codes in it. All right, so it's two different sets of codes that you'll use if you're a medical coder. Okay, Rhonda says, what is your tips for taking the exam? Okay, so for the exam, I recommend learning test-taking techniques like the process of elimination. Okay, this way you will get the answer quicker and, because you only have 2 minutes and 40 seconds per question. So learning the process of elimination. I also recommend highlighting your book like this and having tabs on your books. Anything you can do to save time. Okay, Tina says, I plan on joining the March class. Is there a cutoff date? Yes, so yes. The cutoff date for my class is the start date is March 4th. So the cutoff would probably be around February 15th. Okay, this is because I have to get your books to you. And, I have to get your stuff from AAPC to you. So just so there's time for you to get all the materials and start the class. So mid-February. So you still have a couple of more weeks if you want to sign up for my class. All right, well, good luck on your exam, Rhonda. You say you have it February 28th. Okay, so you still have time. Okay, another thing you could do is get the practice tests from AAPC. Okay, so time yourself going through the practice questions and see if you can consistently get a 70% or higher. Danielle says, do you sell the tabs for the CPT book? Yes, they're in my TikTok shop. Okay, these are the tabs. Okay, if any of you guys have any questions about my coding course, you can email me. My email is lindsay@midnightmedicalcoding.com. Another question, do you have a video of highlighting the ICD-10 book? I do not. I don't really have that many highlights in my ICD-10 book. So I don't really have any videos on that. Okay, in which areas can you apply this job? Well, I mean, this is medical coding, so I'm not sure if you're asking what specialties maybe is what you're asking. All different specialties. Okay, so anytime you've ever been to, ever been to a doctor, okay, just think someone has coded that visit. Okay, so medical coders could all work in, many different specialties. Okay, my specialty before I got into teaching, I used to be a radiology coder and auditor. Okay, but that's just one direction you can go. There's many different directions you can go in. Jessica says, what's included in the course? Okay, I can't really talk about it too much on my lives because I get all these notifications from TikTok. But I have videos on that. So if you want to check out my other videos, you'll see what's included in the course. Okay. Can you go over the process of elimination in a video? Yes, I can do some videos on that. Okay, I think I have some from a while ago, but they're kind of old, so I can do some more videos on that if you guys want. Okay. So again, I'm on page 145 now. Same thing, highlighting the first couple of words of each main code. Okay, a main code is one that is not indented. Okay, and the reason why I do it this way is just think of how you read the full code of, a full CPT code. Okay, if a code's indented, you have to go back up to the code above it to get the full description. Okay, so that is why I highlight the first couple of words like this. All right, then I go back and link the codes that are indented with the codes above it. Okay, this one has a lot of codes here, 21076, has a whole bunch of indented codes below it, so I just link all of those codes together. Okay. Okay, so Isabel says, so billing is the same, or what is the difference of coding? Okay, so my class just teaches coding. Okay, my class just teaches coding. To be a medical biller, you do not need a certification. Okay, to be a coder, you do need a certification. Okay, so my course includes coding only. Okay, Taylor says, if chapters are labeled into sections, why verify in the tabular list? Okay, so the reason, I don't know if you're talking about the CPT book or it kind of sounds like you're talking about the ICD-10 book. Okay, the reason why you do that is because there can be more directions in the tabular, okay, especially actually in the CPT and the ICD-10 book. Okay, so there's more directions there. Sometimes it will tell you to code something else, another code with the code that you're coding. Okay, so you can't just code from the index. Okay, you have to go to the tabular to, see if there's anything else you have to do. Okay, especially in the ICD-10 book, sometimes you have to add another character on the end of the code. Okay, so if you were just in the index, you wouldn't necessarily know to do that. Okay. Okay, so the tabular and the CPT, that's what I'm in right now. Okay, so where all these codes are, that is the tabular. The index of the CPT, I'll show you guys that That's the back of the book. And here's where you would, if you were looking up a code here, here's where your keywords are that you would start with. This is the index of the book. Okay, tips for passing the CCS. Okay, I don't have any certifications from AHIMA. Okay, that's an AHIMA certification. Okay, I would say it's similar to if you were taking the CPC exam, using the process of elimination. Okay, but I don't have any certifications from there, so I'm not, I don't want to talk about AHIMA too much because I don't have any certs from there. Okay, Taylor says, doesn't give you instructions under the codes, though, to code elsewhere or to code also if necessary. Okay, that sounds like you're talking about the ICD-10 book, and that is in the tabular. In the index, sometimes there's directions in the index. Okay, sometimes it will direct you somewhere else. Okay, but you still need to go to the tabular. Okay, another question, is this for hospital coding as well? It depends. If you're talking about hospital inpatient coding, okay, they use a whole other set of codes that I myself don't even know. I don't even cover them. If you're coding hospital outpatient, then yes, they would use CPT codes. And another question, no, you don't have to memorize anything. Okay, you can have notes in your book. So for the terminology, you can have terms in there and the definition of what it means. You do not have to memorize everything. Another question, is the tabular verifying for both the CPT and ICD-10? Yes, you'll have to check the codes in both ICD and ICD-10. Inpatient uses CPT codes too. Yes, yeah, that is true. That is true. They could also use CPT. But they also use ICD-10 PCS, which is what I was referring to. Okay. Okay, so still on this page here, still linking the codes that are indented with the code above it. Okay, and then going back and circling what's in parentheses. Okay, so that's what that page looks like. Okay, how do you know when you need both ICD-10 and CPT? Okay, you always will need at least one ICD-10 code and at least one CPT code on a claim. Okay, so you always will need at least one of each. Okay, a lot of times it is more than that. Okay, but you always will need at least one ICD-10 and one CPT. Okay, Taylor says, so you basically can incorrectly code if you neglect the tabular for CPT book and ICD-10 book. Yep, that's definitely true. You can easily not get the right code if you don't go to the tabular. Okay, so Sandra says, so getting a certificate for CPT coding wouldn't mean I could work for a hospital. Okay, so there's no certification for just CPT coding. Okay, so for your certification, like I'm talking about the CPC exam from AAPC, okay, you will have to know ICD-10, CM coding, CPT, and HCPCS, okay, to pass that exam. And you could work in a hospital with that, but there's no certification for just CPT. Okay, Taylor says, how do you sequence more than 3 ICD-10 codes with multiple CPT codes? Okay, so if you have more than one, okay, the first ICD-10 code is going to be, the main reason for the exam. Now, I don't have an example to show right now, so if I had an example, it would be a little easier to explain it, okay? But the first code is you want the main reason why the patient is being seen. If they're being seen for one thing, but they have a couple of other things, you would list those also. But the first one is pretty much the most important one, okay? Now, with the CPT codes, certain ICD-10 codes would link to certain CPT codes depending on what they are on the claim. So just because you have 3 ICD-10 codes and 3 CPT codes, it doesn't mean that all of them will be linked together. Okay, now this is done all, on when you type codes into a program, okay, by itself. Like, you're not really going to be linking them together too much. Okay, I guess it depends what program you're using. Okay, but questions like that are hard for me to answer because I don't have an example report to show you, and it could be different depending on what program your employer has you using for coding. Now, once you get out there in the real world, you will have, more resources to help you. Okay, many employers have an encoder that you could use. Okay, so you may not necessarily even be using the actual books too much, okay, but you still need to understand the books and learn the books, and also for the CPC exam, you have to use the books. All right, so that is why I, teach using the books. All right. Okay, now I'm on page 146. Okay, thanks you guys to everyone who's just joining. Okay, so I'm just going to highlight the first couple of words of each main code. Okay, so this page kind of has a lot of different codes compared to some other pages. Okay. First couple of words, then you go back and link the codes that are indented with the code above it. So it's easier to read the full code description. Okay, then go back and circle what's in parentheses. Okay, so the parentheses again has more instructions. Okay, sometimes it says what codes can be coded together, what codes cannot be coded together. Sometimes it talks about modifiers. Okay, Cynthia says, when is your next sign up for a class? Okay, my next class is open for enrollment now. Okay, you have until about February, 14th, 15th, to sign up because the class starts the beginning of March. Okay, so Taylor says, my main concern is getting stuck in the tabular and wasting time in it during the exam. Okay, yes, that is actually, something to think about. Okay, so that's why I teach the process of elimination to help get the answer. So you're not stuck looking for the code too much. Okay, I'll have to do some other videos on that to show you guys what I mean on that. Because anything you could do to save time, you'll definitely need to do for the exam. Okay, now I'm on page 147. Okay, I see another question. Do I offer payment plans? Okay, I have some videos on that. You could go check them out. I can't really talk about it on a live, or I get all these notifications from TikTok. All right. So highlighting the first couple of words of each main code. Okay. Then I go back and link the codes together. This is 21260. Okay, it has two indented codes below it, so I linked them together so it's easier to see the full code description. 21230 and 21235 are linked together. 21193 and 21194. Okay. All right, then I circle what's in parentheses because it gives more directions. Okay, a question is signing up for classes. Any chance the classes would be in the afternoon? Okay, so my class is from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay, but if you miss it or you can't make the meetings, I do send all my students the recordings. But I do not have anything in the actual afternoon. Okay, so this is what this page looks like. Okay, this is the CPT book, the 2025 from the AMA. Okay, so this is going to be the last page that I'm going to do tonight. If you guys have any questions, I'll take a couple more, questions. Okay, if TikTok ever goes away, I also have a YouTube channel where I have my videos. You guys can check those out. Okay, another, the question's going quick. If you're experienced with coding, do you still have to use the tabular? Okay, so if you start to memorize codes because you're in a job and you're coding the same things over and over and over, okay, you'll naturally see that you're not going to be going to the tabular as much. But I can't really sit here and recommend that you do that. But that'll naturally just happen when you're, once you become more experienced over time. Okay, can you please explain the difference between medical billing and medical coding? Okay, so a medical coder will read a report and take that information and, transfer it into codes, and that's what basically medical coding is. Okay, taking the diagnosis and the procedure, coding it, putting it in the system, okay, and then you'd move on to the next report. Now, a biller, depending on the way your job is set up, but a biller usually sees the like denials and things that come back after a coder submits the codes to the insurance company, and a biller sometimes will figure out why is something denied. Okay, so they see they're part of the revenue cycle that is kind of like after the coder. Okay, now there's some places where the medical coder and the biller is the same person. Now, if you work for a really small place, okay, you might be doing coding and billing. Okay, but if not, a lot of times it's two separate people, or not the same person. Okay, my YouTube channel is the same, is here, Midnight Medical Coding. You guys can follow me over on there. And that's where I'll be, guys, if this app ever goes away again. You can always find my stuff on YouTube. Okay. Does anyone else have any questions? All right, well, this is pretty much it for tonight then. I see one more question. Do you recommend taking the prerequisites for the CPC course? That really would be up to you. Okay, I don't require it for my course. Okay, that's because I think the curriculum from AAPC is very thorough. So I don't require it. But really, it really would be up to you if you want to do that. It's not required for my course, but for some courses it is. You know, you'd have to sit and compare, and see if you want to take another course beforehand. Okay, so Linda says, is this an accredited course? Okay, I teach the program from AAPC. I use the curriculum from AAPC. And so I'm going to show you guys what the book looks like. Okay, this is the book. Okay, from AAPC. Now, AAPC is technically not a school. Okay, so it is not accredited, but that is, it's AAPC's program. Okay. Is the exam all multiple choice? Okay, as of right now, it is all multiple choice. Okay, I heard a while ago they were thinking of changing that a little bit and putting fill in the blank questions, but I have not heard anything as of yet. Okay, that's something that I will definitely let you guys know, once AAPC lets any instructors know that they're making a change. But right now it's all multiple choice. All right. Any other questions? All right, guys. Well, thanks for joining me tonight. Okay, my next live will be next Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you guys think of any questions, excuse me, any questions, please feel free to email me. My email is lindsay@midnightmedicalcoding.com. All right, guys, have a good rest of the night. Thanks again for joining.